Did you know that there's a thing called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15? There is the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. It makes sense kind of what they're called. The Dirty Dozen are the 12 fruits and veggies that are most loaded with pesticides. And the Clean 15 are the ones that have the least impact by pesticides, nasty things. So this is something that was started by the Department of Agriculture, and every year they bring in, this is the list, okay? This is a list to kind of really be careful of, and the list that is, you know, kind of, it's okay to be not so scared from. So the reality is that pesticides and things are just used extensively everywhere nowadays and have been for a long time. But we grow so much of our own vegetables and fruits and things here at home because we're so aware of this. And I just want people to be aware of it too. I remember the very first time I ever learned of this, I was like, what? This is scary. And interesting, this year, things like cherries came in number 8 on the list. And then things like peaches and pears and celery and tomatoes, they all made it onto the list as well. But number one of the Dirty Dozen, guys, is strawberries. Strawberries, like, and we love them, but they are such a soft, luscious fruit that the bugs loved, and so sweet that the bugs love to eat them too. So they're really heavily sprayed. Okay. Number 2 was spinach. All your greens, you know, we grow all our greens here at home, and I nets over them to keep the bugs from getting to them. It makes sense if they're out there in the field, they're going to be sprayed. It's not cool, but it's true. Kale. I had, before I netted mine, I had bugs literally strip my kale back to nothing overnight. It was crazy. So all those kind of really green kind of veggies, leafy things, the bugs love them so much. So they're heavily sprayed, which is all part of why we grow our own here at home. Nectarines, stone fruits, really sweet on the tree. The bugs like them as well. Apples, grapes. So bell and hot peppers. So that's chilies and capsicums. So again, you know, that red, sweet, even the hot, but that juiciness of the fruit is what attracts bugs. Cherries made it number 8, peaches number 9, pears number 10, celery number 11, and tomatoes number 12. So some, you know, I know you may not be able to grow everything at home, but imagine you were even growing some of your basic green vegetables. The leafy greens are actually easy to grow, but in summer here at the moment, there's bugs around, so we have to have them covered just with a simple net. It's worth it. And things like tomatoes, you know, tomatoes are easy to grow. You can grow them in a pot on your veranda if you're in an apartment. It's not that hard. So we can work our way around the Dirty Dozen. Just know, you know, buy organic where possible. Absolutely. I've spoken on previous podcasts about how organic doesn't necessarily mean more nutritious. It just means the lack of pesticides. So we still want nutritious food. But we want to be able to have it, you know, obviously you've got to clean it properly if they've been exposed to pesticides, and that's fruit and veg. So when it comes to the Clean 15, this is the list that has the least amount of pesticides. And it's interesting, nearly 70% of fruit and veggies on the list had no detectable pesticide residues. That's awesome. But under 5% had residues of 2 or more pesticides. So these are either no or low amounts of pesticides. Really good news is we are big avocado eaters, and I can't wait. Our avocado tree in our garden is growing and is not ready to fruit yet, but it will in next year or the year after. So I can't wait to be growing our own avos. We have in a previous house, but it showed up on the fruit with the lowest level of pesticide amongst the 46 foods that were tested. That's huge. And sweet corn, amazingly, because sweet corn, it's sweet, it can attract bugs. So really interesting, the list of the Clean 15. So here it is. You ready? These are ones like go for it. In general, obviously you've got to check your source, but in general, they have less pesticides used on them. Avocados is one. Avocados. And also know that they're picked rock hard rocks. Literally, they're so green and backward. They gas ripen them. It's better if you can grow your own and have them tree ripened, but at least less pesticides. Sweet corn came in at number 2. Pineapple, number 3. I love growing my own pineapples so much. Onions are number 4. Pawpaw or papaya, whatever you want to call it, number 5. Sweet peas, snap frozen, but sweet peas. Number 7, asparagus. We grow our own asparagus. It's so good. Honeydew melon, number 8. Kiwi fruit, number 9. I go on about kiwi fruit all the time. Yes, it's low pesticide. Number 10 was cabbages. Number 11, mushrooms. Number 12, cantaloupe, we call rock melon. Number 13 were mangoes. It is mango season here at the moment, and we have been eating so many mangoes. It's so good. Number 14, watermelon, and number 15, sweet potatoes. Again, we grow all of our own sweet potatoes. So the clean 15 just means they had little or no pesticides in general in the marketplace. So that's really good news. Load up through those, and, you know, hard to avoid the dirty dozen. Grow what you can where possible, and that is the healthy life hack. It's one really simple one. Try to grow more of your own foods and be really mindful of the other foods that you buy. That's it. It's pretty simple. Close to nature the majority of the time is the way our body works best. The more intervention by science with pesticides and GMOs and all those kind of things is just not cool. So we want everything as close to nature as possible. Grow your own where you can, and be mindful of other things that you are buying, and obviously clean well if you are going to eat any of the dirty dozen. So head over to the show notes, www.healthylifehacks.com.au, if you want to check out those two lists.